Is that the best flying quad you've ever flown?
Yeah.
G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures, and today, well, yes, it's finally happening, and that's because Grumpy Trev was away on holidays, but finally he's back, and I wanted him here for this video because this one's something special. So what we have the Talon. So this is the part 2 review of the Talon from Corey, I can't say the name, but I'll link it down below anyway, and Corey Drones, and this thing is an absolute beast. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, I called it a game changer. I really love this frame design. I'm going to leave a link up here. And you guys loved it as well and been asking Stuart, can we please see the part 2 review? So here it is, you know, Grumpy Trev's back. What we're going to do, we're going to take this thing out to the field, rip it around, and I mean, look, very quickly, you're going to see some footage like this. Like, check out this thing in the air. It turns on an absolute dime. This thing is absolutely insane. So we're going to take it out, rip it around. I'll show you some HD footage, and then we'll hand it over to Grumpy Trev and sort of, we'll see what he thinks as well. And yeah, and just sneakily, I have been flying this thing around a little bit. I've been a little bit scared to take it too near the ground because I didn't want to break it too much before Trevor got back. But I'm so happy he's back because I want to fly this thing all the time. So I'm super pumped. Enough rambling. Let's cut down to the field and check out what the Talon's like for the part 2 review. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, out here in the field, about time. Grumpy Trevor's back, so let's do it. Let's rip some batteries through the Talon. I'll show you some HD footage and then we'll also hand it over to Grumpy Trev and see what he thinks. All right, let's do it. Okie dokie, so here we go. Now, this is sort of, I guess, in its first 3 flights or something like that. I had flown it around a little bit before in the weeks prior to this review, and I know you guys have been desperate for it, but I didn't want to take it near the ground in case I broke it, you know, and was worried about the durability or anything like that. But I'm happy to say that after flying it with like 20 batteries or so through it on the weekend, you know, putting it close to the gates, we had plenty of crashes, smashing into gates and trees. This thing came out totally unscathed. Anyway, let's get on and talk about the flight characteristics, because that's where this quad is absolutely the bee's knees. It is like hands down the best quad I have ever flown. It feels amazing in the air, and I think that's going to come down to 2 things. So number 1, just how easy it cuts through the air. So when it's actually going through the air, how much, not momentum, but just how much ease it has when it's going through the air. And number 2, how it feels in the turns. Now, speaking of that ease, if you just listen to the motors, you can hear this thing like it looks like it's going, well, I feel like it's going at a decent speed. It's not super quick, and I definitely reckon I can't wait to smash some laps with this and get some really, really quick flight footage. But when it's coasting around, it felt like it was just chilling. I felt like I was at 40% throttle, and this is where I think this quad is going to make a big difference for me because I have so much room to grow on this quad. This quad, it was well beyond my abilities, but it felt like it was controllable the whole time. It didn't feel like some of those ultralights, and it just felt like as it was going through the air, it was an absolute dream to fly. It was doing everything I wanted to do, and it was a really good mix between, I guess, like stability and maybe also agility. So it was fantastic, also with a ton of speed. And the other thing I want to talk about, and this is a pretty crazy flight, I think I had a few crashes in this one, but the other thing I want to talk about is how it feels in the turn. So when you're actually turning, and we'll have a look at the far tree that we come up, like the hairpin right at the end of the track, and it just goes wherever you point it. And I don't know if that's because the arms are acting like a rudder, but right there, usually I drift out with my chameleon or something like that. Oh, there's a bit of an unlucky crash. But right there at that far tree, that far hairpin when you turn around, some of my other quads all drift out, and even, you know, but with this one, I think the arms act like a rudder. It sort of steers you around, and it makes flying this thing so easy. I love what it's doing. You can actually point, like right there when I was facing down, I gave the blip of the throttle. I wanted to drop down, and I'm accelerating towards the ground, and that far tree there, just the way it goes around that hairpin is an absolute dream. So look, if you're wanting to get a frame, and for me, this is what it's all about. I love track flying. This is the sort of frame that I want to fly. And I know Grumpy Trev, who we'll hand it over to in a minute, absolutely loved it. And I just can't describe any other quads like it. A good analogy would be, it feels as stable for me as the Chameleon, with the agility of some of those ultralights when it's flying around. And I know, look, some people say, oh, you might have your issues with the arms like that. And I would say with this one in particular, you know, with this frame, I had none of that. This frame is going to allow me to grow and just push so fast, and I think that if we get some other pilots, like some really good top-notch pilots, they're going to absolutely blow people out of the water with sort of these designs. So I'm a massive fan, and I think anyone who secured one of these, you're going to have an absolute blast. Well, I mean, look at this thing flying around. This is on low battery, and it is just still absolutely cutting through the air, like slicing through it. An absolute weapon.
Alright, so I've just flown around the Talon and I absolutely love it, and the way it turns in the air is it's ridiculous. So what we're going to do, you guys have just seen the footage, but we're going to hand it over to the grumpy man himself. We'll hand it over to Grumpy Trev and see what he thinks. Do you even remember how to fly?
Oh, that's a good question. Hey boys, just back from the UK, haven't flown for a month, so this could be interesting. And Stu wants to fly this for the rest of the day.
Yeah, don't break it.
All right, we'll give it a go.
I really want you to give it some stick and like just see what you think.
Oh, this is a beast. It turns quick.
Jesus.
Bloody hell. This is f***ing awesome, this thing. Oh, yes. I'm in awe of this thing. This is so quick. It turns so easy. Like, it's that smart, it's turning before I want to. Like, it's really quick in the turns. And fast. Shit.
Is it smooth?
This is silk. Bloody hell. I like this. This is really nice. Just when you think they can't get any better, this is, it's great. Very responsive to the sticks. This is super locked in. Like, this feels like I haven't been away. This is so good. I can see why you like this. Oh, I love it.
Give it a Grumpy Trev rating out of 10.
I didn't think I'd see something better than the Chameleon. This is a 10. No ifs or buts. It's a fucking sure 10. It's fucking tremendous. Fucking hot. No kidding.
You don't have a warranty with this one, you remember? So
yeah,
and it is pricey.
Yeah, but look, it looks good. It feels good. It's really easy to fly, and it's quick. You can see the engineering that's gone into this. I really can't pick any negatives on this. Oh, flyability. This, I don't want to. You sure you want to fly this today?
Yeah, you got to bring it back because I want to fly it.
Hell, look at that! I even landed it.
All right, Trev, what do you reckon? You've just smashed that around. Well, actually, you didn't smash it. Good job.
No, not a scratch on it. It's just that's a piece of art, and it flies well to boot. Look, if you can afford one, for sure, I can't knock it. That's a really nice quad to fly. I really do like it. Hey, who put that on? It wasn't me.
That bit of mud.
Yeah, that's Stu's mud.
No, Perry did that before. When he picked it up, that was Perry.
Oh, okay. It's definitely a 10. No ifs or buts. That is so nice.
Is that the best flying quad you've ever flown?
Well, look, I don't want to say yes, but it is. It is so good. That battery's even warm.
No worries. All right, thanks, Trev. All right, Cal, you've just flown around with the Talon. What do you reckon?
Bloody weapon. You should need a license to operate this. You can almost operate it with your mind, telepathically. It just seems to go wherever you want.
Do you think having the frame in that sort of direction helps with the aerodynamics? Not aerodynamics, helps with, I guess, a turn, in a sharp turn.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. This thing just literally slices. As you can see, it slices through the air. And that's apparent, especially when you see a good pilot like Stu whipping this thing around.
Which one?
Shut up, Trevor.
You can see the potential this thing has. It's just incredible. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my part two review of the Talon, or from Korea, however you say it anyway. My part 2 review of the Talon, and honestly, this thing is flippin' amazing. It is hands down the best quad that I've ever flown, and you guys know I've flown a lot of quads, and I'm kind of amazed that this came out of New Zealand. This style of frame has absolutely blown me away. I can't wait to try some more frames with these vertical arms, because look, I knew it would make a difference in the drag when it's cutting through the air, but in terms of when it's in the turns, I don't know what's happening, but it's like you pointed in that direction. It reminds me of like a super light frame, and it just cuts through the air, but it felt way more controllable than some of those super lights. So I'm an absolute massive fan. And if you're one of those lucky people, when I first did the review, if you went and got one of these, congratulations, because honestly, this is my main flyer. I want to fly this all the time, and the biggest problem was Trevor was overseas. I had to wait till he got back because I wanted to fly this all the time, but if I broke it, it would make the part 2 review very difficult. I'm lucky to say that it holds up pretty well. Time will tell, but at the moment, this is an absolute joy to fly. Now, Trevor's had a go. I can rip this thing around all the time, and for me, I think this is a quad that's going to push my skills. So probably last summer, the GT2 was a frame and a whole quad actually that I felt like pushed my skills to the next level, and then I moved on to the Chameleon, and that was a little bit heavier, but I'd still taken a lot from the GT2 in terms of controlling something at speed. For me, this bad boy right here, I think is going to sort of push my flying to the next level anyway. It's doing what I want it to do. I think I'm going to be able to get really quick with it, and just talking about it now, I can't wait to get out and fly around with it some more. So for a track flyer, look, the guy who created this, congratulations, because honestly, this thing feels absolutely amazing. Now, it wasn't absolutely perfect. There were probably some things I would like to change, and number one would be this GoPro mount here. So I'm not 100% sure that I like it, because it looks like it's great and you can adjust it very easily, but what I found, I wouldn't recommend the GoPro mounts because they clip out and then they're an absolute pain to try and clip back in. I'm probably going to come up with a different solution, or maybe because I like it so much, build it with a run cam split. But overall, I am so happy to fly this quad around. So yeah, this is my main. If you're Stuart, you can only have one quad on your wall at the moment. It would be this bad boy right here. Now, in terms of durability, I don't think it's going to hold up as well as my Chameleon. My Chameleon's been an absolute tank and I really, really like it. But in terms of handling, I guess, for the track flying, which is absolutely my favorite type of flying, you know, with those flags, fields, and trees, I absolutely love track flying. And for me, this thing is the bee's knees. Anyway, I'm totally rambling about it. I'll leave a link down below. I think you guys can tell that I'm in love. I'm not sure if there'll be any stock because, look, I know the last one did sell out very quickly. So if you got one, congratulations, because I know you're absolutely going to love it. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. I definitely want to get some more frames like this on the show with those vertical arms, because they handle, in my opinion, they handle like an absolute dream. So I'm going to try and get it. I think it's the Rampage, I think, that, you know, trying to see if I can get one of those on the show, because a lot of people have been asking about that. And I know that JB, Joshua Bardwell, he also did one on the Zero, which I think looks pretty cool as well. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Definitely stick around, because, you know, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of this in my happy flying videos. And what do you think? You know, what do you like about this frame? You know, is this a step in the right direction? What do you think frames are going to go like in the future? Because so far, look, I think this thing is an absolute winner. Anyway, happy flying.
Oh, it just turns.
And we were just starting to catch you.
Yeah. Well, I can't, that thing's beyond my ability, I reckon.
I'm really impressed with the way this is made. Like, if you had said to me this is an Armaton, I would have believed you.